So then you would do the same thing, but you do it with copywriting, which is all copywriting is words. It's really literally just like naming that person out or writing out that person's how do I say that? Writing or calling out that person through writing is what I'm trying to say. On there, short and sweet, and get to the point. And then the difference is the most bang for buck. A lot of people lean more towards Google, but the thing is, the high level marketers, at least that I know, if you market really well, and then Facebook actually is the best. A lot of people say you get more quantity on Facebook than quality, but if you do it right, you can definitely like single file out the best leads on Facebook for the best price with the best CPMs. And all CPMs, sorry if I say some like metrics that people don't understand. It's just cost per a mile. And all this is every 1,000 person who sees a video. Pretty simple. And then the real thing is just really just dialing in that front end, but the real money is made in the back end. This is where I feel like a lot of people in the industry, in the whole real estate industry, fall short. Is the follow up. And so once you have your ads running on the front end, calling out for whatever it is you do, whether it's traditional real estate, wholesale, loans. I even work with people who raise capital for multi-million dollar projects, whatever it is. The follow up is the hugest thing, and then knowing your client avatar and how they like to be followed up with. So like I would say the bigger the ticket, the less people actually like to get on the phone. It's more so text based. So kind of paint that picture for you. If you were selling like say P Diddy's home or something like that, $2 million home, I bet the buyer for that typically doesn't like to hop on too many calls. He would rather be talked to and text to, rather than somebody who might be buying like the regular median home out here in San Diego, which is $1 million, where they might want to know like, hey, what's going on? What's going on with this? How's the roof look? And they want to know every little thing, every little detail. It's knowing your client avatar and knowing exactly how to communicate with them. And then depending on the class they're in, is how they want to be talked to. And then that's why having a good follow system is dialed in. And one thing I harp to Josh all the time too is about like a lot of people, like, let's say, especially when they run ads online, they'll run ads and they'll have people come into their pipeline and they'll call them once a week or twice a month or a couple times here and there. I call it the 30 days of pain, where like when you get a lead coming in, you should be calling them 30 days straight. And the thing is, a lot of people, I've had clients in the past who say like, oh, like, isn't that annoying or isn't that kind of like too much? It's like, you got to realize when you're selling something to somebody who wants what you're selling, it's never annoying as long as you come with value. As long as you're calling them and telling them like, hey, like, I can help with this, or I can help with that, or we have this. If you know about, and as long as you're coming with, and as long as it's the right market, like I said, it's your target audience. If it's something to the right person, they will appreciate you calling and reaching out to them, et cetera. And or they'll let you know like, hey, like, I'd rather do this or I'd do that, but like, keep talking to me. If you have your leads coming in where like they don't appreciate that, it's not your target market, and they probably not going to buy anyway. Um, any questions on anything I said so far? So I'm just kind of just going in, just saying, wow.
Yo, yo, yo.
What's up?
Finally, I get to talk. This guy talks forever, dude. This is my show, dude. What are you doing? What's up, dude? How you feeling? Good?
I'm all right, man. I told you I was really sick last week, man. I was dying.
He's faking it. He wasn't returning my calls or my texts, and so he was like, "Oh, okay. I was dying." Like, I know humans, bro. I know them. You can still text, dude. This phone didn't leave your side. I know the truth. But thanks for being here. I know I didn't get to do like a real full-on intro for you, but this guy, obviously pay attention to him because he's helped me quite a bit in the last year or so. Just develop the understanding of what the paid ad funnel kind of should look like and how it works and why it's so important, especially in the wholesale side. So without him, I would say maybe not all my success in wholesale, but most of my wholesaling success stems from what he's been doing in terms of generating leads. And I don't, do we go into deep numbers? Like, what was our price per lead at one point last year?
It was about, I think, for a little bit, it was around like $15 and $20 per second, and then it kind of went up a little bit. Everything.
Yeah.
And once you went more nationwide, it definitely dropped down again. It was
so I mean, on average, I think it was about $35, even $30 a lead, which is nothing. And then we took a pause just during the holidays. People really didn't want to sell their house or go for actual lower offers, so we kicked it back up. I would say less than 45 days ago, 60 days ago. And the stream of leads, quality leads, has been amazing. And I always tell everyone, I don't know why people are clicking on these leads. Like, there's no reason why they should be clicking on it, but they do, and they're always in a situation to sell that day, whether you're talking to people who just need to sell, divorce, death, or whatever it is, or people who just want top dollar. And with the novations and the real estate relationships we have across the country, those conversations are a lot different now, that we don't have to always go for the wholesale. And most of you guys are real estate agents here, so these leads work. So whatever we're doing, I would just copy to a T, depending on your area, and generate as many leads as possible at that low price, and just build that funnel. It's all about that funnel. Get the leads in. Some people are going to be instant. Some people are going to be 12 to 18 months down the line, but you just want to build it up. Now, what I want to do is focus more on the funnel side of things and the follow-up side. I know I suck at follow-up. You already called me out on that. But I don't understand. Maybe it's the understanding of the follow-up. I know everyone says, hey, it takes about 7 touches for someone to make a decision. I don't know if that's true or false, but in the wholesale space, I mean, it's probably true. When it comes to ads running for buyers and sellers, talk to me about what you recommend for follow-up, day 1 through 7, essentially. What's your ideal vision?
So, and I'll say this to start this off to give a little context beforehand. When running ads, you should definitely try to not only just get the person's information, try to get an appointment out of it as well. So that way, before I say the whole follow-up thing, and I'll run into that. So like whenever you get somebody's information online for whether you're trying to find a buyer or sell a home or find a seller who wants to sell their home, etc. Have them put in information, have them book a call. So that way, and it takes 28 touches, which is I believe my at least I think in my practice anywhere from like that 14 to 28. And I would say, so the follow-up, so day 1, obviously you want to like, let's say, follow up with a client, they opt in, obviously that means interested in whatever you're selling. You always want to reach out to them, and then you want to make it relatable in the first message. So let's say somebody was trying to sell a property at 212 San Marcos Avenue, and like you want to say, hey, insert client's name. Thank you for inquiring about selling your property at 212 San Marcos Avenue. I have this. Would you be interested in this? And, oh, so let me say that too. So you want to lead with like an offer. Everything when it comes to running ads. Please hear me well on this, you guys. When it comes to running ads, everything you do is about the offer. Everything is what you're giving to them for free to then earn their business and earn their trust. You want to give something up front for free that you are losing or having some skin in the game on the front end to then get somebody to come in and want to work with you. Most people do not want to just work with you off the bat, so just make sure you have that on the front end. Back to the follow-up. So I just want to follow up with them. And then big thing too is they said this Harvard Business Law, you want to call your leads within the first minute. After you don't call, after 5 minutes of not calling your lead, I believe the drop-off is like 80% chance that lead work with you or ends up going through with you. So you want to make sure that you have automated systems to where you have like a CRM, like a Go High Level or a Follow Boss, like Josh uses, whatever. That where as soon as that lead opts in from your ad, you're shooting a message and it's personalized to them. It could be automated, but personalized in a way that shouts out whatever it is that you're offering them, plus whatever details they gave you. So if it's like their address, hey Dave at 212 San Marcos Avenue, this, I saw you were interested in this. I would love to offer X to you. And then please feel, if you're free right now, please feel free to call back or text or etc. And then let's say they don't pick up or they don't answer, whatever it is, right? One trick that I do is that I make it to where once that lead text comes in, I wait a couple minutes. Let's say you call, don't pick up, whatever. I wait maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, and another text again like, hey, did you miss my call? Are you free to text right now? And then it's like, oh, if you're not cool, if you want, I can just email you the information right now. And then and I'd be like for like 5, and then like another text after that one. And then people tend to respond after like the second one, go like, oh yeah, just email me, I'm busy right now, or like yada yada, and then you can get a conversation out of it. And then you want to make sure too that you have, this is a little side note, you want to make sure too you have your automations where like they turn off after people reply, because you don't want to keep hammering people with setups to get them to reply when they already replied. So then you should then have an if else automation to where if somebody comes in, they reply, they go, okay, cool. Now I'm going to start talking to you like we're already doing business. Like, okay, cool, yeah, I got this. Let's set up a time. And you can do this with AI too. We're pretty involved in AI. We got AI talking to your clients on your behalf. We even got AI calling now, which is insane. But I digress.
And then, that's one of the topics I wanted to talk about.
They set an appointment. This is a really huge one. A lot of people I realize in the industry, no matter what industry too, they have a hard time people actually showing up to appointments. A big thing you guys should do is where a lot of people fail is that they book an appointment and they go, okay, cool, I'll see you on Saturday. And they just don't communicate at all. The biggest thing you need to do, you can do this with ads and messaging, is you should be emailing them value and what they should bring. If you're doing a buyer consultation with the client, you should be emailing him every day with time-based emails up to that appointment. And if you guys need help on figuring out how to do that, let me know. But time-based emails where it's like, hey, like bring this to the appointment. Make sure you know these numbers. Make sure you know that. Make sure you know this. Because you got to realize your clients, if you don't tell them what to do, you don't give them information before their appointment. Let's say they book out a week out. They're going to look up what usually happens or what's going on there. And they might find somebody else who does that or is talking about that online better or more than you, and then decide to work with them instead and book a call with them. So you need to overflow them with like, hey, like this is what's going to happen. This is what it looks like. This is the dream outcome. This is what you need to bring. This is the typical numbers. This is how long it takes to do this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Whatever little minute detail you could think of that you need to tell your client that's actually like vital, please try to like get that out to them so that way, and you'll be surprised too. They'll go on the emails and ask you, okay, cool. Like, oh, so what's this? And then you're just gaining more trust and more like, I can't think of a better word for that with them, and that pays off. But typical 7-day follow, like I said, day one, reaching out to them, personalized, and let's just play this out like they don't respond at all through this whole like 7 to 14 days. Day one, just hit them up, personalize your free custom offer. Also the little tidbits I added in the first part. Day two, you should kind of do like a little check-in, like, hey, sent you an email, yada yada. Not sure if you got it. Just wanted to make sure and see if you did. And then day 3 through day 6 should be all value. And then day 7, if they don't reply, and what I mean by value is really like anything that will help them that maybe most people don't know, or that the obvious person doesn't know. To where it's giving value, like, hey, did you know this happens, blah blah blah, or like, did you know this is the best time to buy because of etc. Or did you know like if you wait too long through foreclosure, it's hard to wholesale because of X, whatever. And then on day 7, you should then at that point you should just do a Hail Mary or whatever your last day is, do a Hail Mary because obviously not respond to you, right? Do Hail Mary. I'm a big believer in throwing like a funny meme or some kind of funny message where it's like, hey, like you don't love me anymore, or something like a funny meme with Kevin Hart or something like that, something random. Just throw it in that last day to kind of get a funny response to them. They go and they might actually reach out back to you, which is kind of funny. It typically does happen. But just just giving yourself a shot. And then if it doesn't hurt either too to like take, let's say they don't respond to you. Let's say you have an automated message from day 1 to day 14, 28. They don't respond. Take a couple of weeks to a month off and then just throw them back in automation again. You'd be surprised how many people just forgot you reached out to them and maybe life happened or et cetera, et cetera. Throw them back in there like, hey, like, sorry, like, hey, I'm just reaching out again, blah, blah, blah. And then boom. Because it's all about compounding because you never know exactly where somebody is in the buyer cycle, but just making sure you follow up and then making it easier for you to follow up as well. So make sure you have like tags and branding and all that on your lead, so you know exactly where they are at. Like they didn't respond the first 8 days, you should have a tag for that in your CRM. Like, hey, like didn't respond 30 days, and then that way next 60 or 90, like I'm reaching out then. Or you should have it for or tags for leads where it's like, hey, I talked to them, but they're not ready to work with me till 2 months out. And a lot of people forget about that. So just
Yeah, so 28 touch points. That's pretty crazy to even fathom. I'm already gone by day 7. I think I'm giving up on the lead. But you're saying 28, which is very interesting to think about, especially in the wholesale cycle. In terms of the agents on here, I know this is social media, right? Paid ads is technically social media, or what would you say? It's more social paid ads, or like it's still social media. My question is, do you need a big following? Like I have a following, right? But is that why my ads are so successful? Or can, say, a Prisma with 1,400 followers still generate a book of business through ads?
Oh, followers make no difference. I would say I'll say that. Let me not say that. I would say you can make a lot of money with ads without having. I've seen accounts with no followers make money. All it is the most important thing. Like I say it again, have a great offer on the front end. Figure out how to make a great offer, and just know what it is your market wants. And it doesn't matter how many followers you have. You will have people who go to your page and see you have no followers or et cetera, and may not buy. Cool. I mean that comes with the game, but you will still always get those people if you have a great. It's hard to turn on a great offer when you're in online, and that's the hard part. Is the hard part on the front end.
Now let's talk about that great offer. I know you gave us some examples, but I mean, for a buyer's agent or a listing agent or a wholesaler, just stick with a buyer's agent for now. What's a great offer? Hey, I could find you a house. What have you seen that's successful? You work with agents all across the country. What works the best? Do you have like a cheat code that we could steal?
Here's the one caveat too I will say is that comes with the real estate industry is that it's more so about novelty on the front end. So like, oh, and just one thing I add too is that your offer should be yourself at the same time when you're a real estate agent because you are your business. So I've seen a lot of agents where they run these ads and like they'll okay, like a great offer, right? That always works in this industry. It's like a custom list, right? But the problem is for agents who run this offer where they're like, hey, get a free custom list of homes under X price, or get a free custom list of homes, or et cetera, is they run it with just pictures of just homes. The thing is, you need to be talking to the camera, being in the video. And there's actually cheat codes for ads where if you actually run videos against images where you get like lower CPMs, and people just know you and trust you. And the thing is, like, being yourself, and make sure to be yourself in those videos, not being robotic, and et cetera, et cetera. So you should have a great lead magnet, which could just be the offer on its own, which is usually typically happens in the real estate. So we're just having like a great lead magnet, like, hey, like, here's the custom homes in Poway under this price point, or et cetera. And then like just having yourself, the biggest ego is just having yourself in the video, because so many realtors are scared to get in front of video. So if you actually put a face to the name, or face to the name, and put it on a video with, like, just getting a great service on the front end, or like you'll tend to get way more traffic that way. That's honestly the biggest thing in my opinion. You can honestly hop on a video and just say, I hope you buy a home, and put your face on it and say something funny. And I promise you, people would definitely work with you more over than somebody else who's just running a regular ad with just pictures of houses.
Yeah, do you think people maybe overthink that portion of it, or what? Like, I like that idea of, hey, click here for that list of homes, right? But that's so plain out, like it's played out by now as a buyer's agent. I like the idea of, hey, buy a home for me, and that's it. Like, and at least you're on their feed with some sort of downloadable. I know you did something with like Brianna where it was a downloadable form where it brought value. It was still informative, wasn't over the top, and it got people into the funnel. So I think maybe for a buyer's agent, that's what you're doing. It's, hey, buy a home for me. In the meantime, read my first time home buyer's book, download it here.
Exactly.
Something like that, something simple. So I like that. That's a good idea.
Also, talking about rates helps a lot too. If you can have like a good loan, talking about loan rates, saying like, hey, like about like a good rate right now, or just how good, or lowering rates, or how to get a lower rate. That's pretty sexy right now. A lot of people
I
like
hate when
that.
agents say date the rate. I don't like it. Date the rate. It's not going to work. Okay, not on that ad. Marry the home. Is that what it says? Marry the home. Date the rate. Date the rate. Marry the home. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, don't use that for an ad. So let's transition into like a listing. Leveraging these paid ads. You obviously have a listing. Let's just say I have a listing on 123 Main Street. We've tried this a couple times where we're trying to generate buyers for a property maybe outside of the state lines, and we're targeting, say, higher net worth individuals. We got leads, but there wasn't really much traction. For them to learn from my mistakes, like, what would you have done differently, selfishly, on that specific ad for that Poway house?
Got you. So big thing with that is like is the messaging on that, is making sure you're like, because you gotta realize, like, you're in that kind of league, you're trying to find a buyer outside of the state. It's either gonna be somebody moving there, or an investor. So then, like, now it's okay, cool, like, and a little cheat code for you guys too. If you ever want to get into nitty gritty of ads, where I think I talked to Josh a little about this, is there's this thing called like creating audiences, custom audiences, right? So like with Josh's ad we run for a property he had, we're trying to find a buyer out of state, typically like, either an investor or somebody want to buy it. So you need higher net worth individuals. What you can do is you can go on and data scrape like certain professions, and then you can create a lookalike audience. I'm sorry if I lose anybody when I start talking about stuff like this, but like, so you can data scrape. I'm pretty sure Josh, you guys about like data scraping leads, or et cetera. But like, you can data scrape people online, high net worth individuals who work at hospitals, or doctors, physicians, et cetera, et cetera. Typical lawyers, people who have higher net worth, and a lot of these people like to invest in real estate on the off time, or maybe people who are looking to move to a certain area. And all you would do is you data scrape these, you upload these to Facebook, and then you create a custom audience. And then what you would do is you would put that into Facebook and do 1% lookalike. So then Facebook now takes those data points from those people and will find people across the US looking for specific people who are typically like in the same realm as those, so then come buy for your luxury property, which is a pretty big cheat code, and it works most of the time. Now, obviously, with Josh, it didn't turn out that well yet. And selfishly, if I would change, I would probably change the messaging more so towards the investors. I'll go more so towards the investor, rather trying to split it down the middle than going trying to find somebody looking to move to San Diego, just because the market is a little harder right now. That's what I would go all in on the investor side, because to do that again.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that. And so as I build out my funnel, I'm a real estate agent. We talked about 28 touch points. We talked about being creative. We talked about doing all this stuff, but realistically, how much is this all going to cost me? I mean, we're spending $30 a lead on the wholesale side. Is it more expensive on the real estate side as a buyer's agent, or what? So I can tell you your services cost X amount of dollars, right, to have you on staff, and then there's ad spend, and then there's costs for like a acquisitions guy who's making the cold calls or following up with these people. So all this costs money. How much is like an agent or a person looking to spend per month? Like what's a good rate of return on the risk that they want to put in? So how much are they spending in, and how much are they're going to get back, basically?
Let me say this. I'll tell you basically, it's actually cheaper than you think. I think to get started, if I was a solo realtor and I had to I wanted to run ads and I had like a little budget, but I didn't have enough to say hire somebody like me or et cetera to kind of run it for them. There's methods for that to really you can do it at $5 a day on Facebook. I wouldn't touch Google though. If I had a low budget, I wouldn't go to Google at all. Google and YouTube is a lot more expensive. They're higher quality leads for sure. And the ROI is there. But on the lower budget, you just won't see it within the time span you're looking for. Whereas Facebook is a lot more open to where literally you can run ads for $5 a day. And if anybody wants, I can kind of go into that a little bit. Where literally you hop on these Facebook and you run more so like an instant form ad. And I'm kind of more so against this, and more high level marketers are too. We like to run our ads straight to a landing page or a funnel to where people can directly sign up and book that way. Instant format keeps it native to the platform. And what I mean by that is you've probably seen it before too, if you've ever clicked the ad, where somebody click on an ad on Facebook and literally right then and there and actually put information you can fill it in. You can get a lot of cheap leads those ways. And that's why Facebook gets a lot of flack, because a lot of marketers come into people's businesses and run instant formats and just get a lot of cheap leads to where you just sign up real quick. It could be inaccurate information too, because a lot of people's Facebook, Instagrams are old. They have old phone numbers, there's autofill, etc. I know Facebook just added a feature though where it has SMS verification, but I think it's exclusive to certain industries, so don't promise that might work in yours. I have not tested that. I prefer, like I said, I prefer landing page. I think it just has more control. But I would say on low end, yeah, you can go at $5 a day, $10 a day, and you can literally probably get at least 1 to 2 leads a day. And then the thing is, the only thing that sucks about it is you're going to be scraping by, trying to find that one diamond in the rough, out of those bunch of leads who are just shopping, those bunch of leads who are just looking, et cetera, et cetera. So you can get in relatively cheap. If you have a smaller budget and you want to do it that way, I'll definitely go that route, and you can get pretty cheap leads that way. But then once you really
$50 a month, that's pretty cheap. If you're talking 3 leads a day. That's 90 leads for $150. You're paying Realtor.com. You're paying Zillow $500 a lead. Maybe they might be a little bit warmer, fresher, but with my experience with both, you're still following up. You're still contacting them. It's still speed the lead. You're going up against other agents. This is more exclusive, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. They might have an agent that they were working with before, but nothing gets sold or distributed multiple times once they click submit. So for 150 exclusive leads at $300, I mean, or $150 for 3. I mean, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. And then what's the conversion on that? 3 to 5%, or what are you seeing?
Yeah, it's pretty low. Yeah, I will say that's the one thing that sucks about it, is that it's pretty, you will have to grind it out. It's definitely a grinding method when you go that low on the budget, and you have to go instant form because you sent them LP. Obviously have more control, but the drop off happens a lot higher because you're taking people off the platform. Whereas they're on Facebook, it's a lot easier. So yeah, it's and honestly, it comes down to the salesman too. It comes down to, it's really when it comes to running ads, it's really about the sales. I mean, every business is about the salesman, but it's really about how well you can sell, how well you can get people on the phone to convert. So the better you are as a marketer, I would say, the cheaper you can get away with it. But I've always seen best practice is just run at a higher budget, so that way you can actually get the right lead right from the jump. But if you don't mind stacking and just having a whole, Rolodex of just a bunch of leads coming in, hundreds a month that you have to just call through and you have to manage, fine. But I definitely, when I do actually suggest that for some people who don't mind going the quantity game, I would say definitely have a good team behind you to help manage those leads, because it can get out of hand really fast. Because once you get it cracked and you got the code going in and the pixels all dialed in, you're gonna get hundreds of leads for sure at that cheap.
We're seeing the cracks. Yeah, I'm seeing the cracks already, and that's kind of why we have to slow it down. We're spending too much, one, for my credit card to even handle, and 2, for the team to catch up. And so you got to be able to pace yourself if you're ready for the increased amount of leads. It's almost impossible without a team backing you to get through all these
Exactly.
leads effectively. So I think less is more in this type of situation, especially with leads and your pocketbook, and really just hammer in the ins and outs of follow up, kind of how to frame yourself when you're speaking to these individuals. Envision yourself closing, like it's all mental versus actual quantity. Like just practice, 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 and once you get the one or two people on the phone, just really hammer it home. Is more
Hmm.
important than getting a bunch of leads, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is off topic. But how did you learn all this stuff? Like, you seem like a young guy. How old are you?
27.
27. How did you learn all this stuff in such a short period of time? I'm 40. I have no idea what you're saying half the time. So how did you learn any of it? I mean, I like you, but besides the Dodger hat, like you're a good guy, you're honest. But how did you learn all this stuff?
To give the full story in a short way. So I graduated college with a dietetics degree, and I used to work in the hospital as a
Degree?
dietitian.
What?
Dietetics.
So you were like a trainer, or what were you?
I was an RD, registered dietitian. I used to help people like PCOS, diabetes, et cetera, stuff like that.
Okay, this is starting off good. Continue.
Um, Hated it from the get go. I only worked in my profession for like 6 months, so I left and started my own practice. So I learned trial and error. I learned marketing through doing my own businesses. That crash and burned, and it was fun while it lasted though. Crash and burned. Ran another business, and surprisingly, it was just a simple like cleaning company, and I was like, okay, cool. And I realized I love marketing from the last business. I got really good at the marketing in the first one, and I learned the whole digital side over there, but not really to the key that I do now. And then this one, I was okay, cool. We went to hone in on it, and I said, let me really like practice this and et cetera, et cetera. And then I figured out, man, I was getting like 1 to 8 returns in the cleaning business. It was insane. Unfortunately, I didn't like that once I let it go, but I realized I just had a love for the marketing part of it. So I said, you know, let me just do this for everybody else. And then I got too much ADHD, man. So I jump around from like industry to industry, just helping people out. And that's probably my favorite part of it. So yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
kind of how I got here.
So, and then you just picked up a book, or you just kind of trial by error, or because what
I
you
remember.
use is go high level, I think it's called, right? That's kind of your background. So, how did you study all that?
Just like marketing.
Yeah, just how
Yeah,
to do those funnels, and you created a website for me, a landing page, like all that stuff was. You did it pretty quick, but I know there's templates and stuff like that. But how did you learn even to jump into go high level?
yeah. So I would say there's one. So I got lucky. In the first business I had, how I learned marketing, I met a guy, um, very very rich guy. He used to market for lawyers, and he kind of opened my eyes to it. And he didn't really give me everything, but he kind of like he showed me like what it was real. And then either way, so I saw him doing that, and then later on, he ended up
Is he
opening his
from
own
San
law firm.
Diego?
Yeah,
I think I know the guy. What's his name?
you're talking about Sam.
What's his? Oh, don't say his last name here, but I think I know the guy. That's funny.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah, yeah,
continue.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
It's crazy. So my cousin was like security for him when
Oh,
for a little bit. Yeah, yeah. And I met him that way. He'll minimize everything. And then I kind of was okay, cool, whatever. And I kind of took a little tidbits. He wouldn't give me much though. He was kind of stingy with his information, so I didn't learn. I learned a lot from him. But he opened my eyes to it. He kind of gave me the gateway. And then pretty much a couple years later, he opened his own law firm from the money he made from doing that and just being really good at it. So I was like, hey, like if he can do it, I can do it. So and yeah, pretty much did that. And then like I said, I ran it for my own businesses, but then I was like, you know, I just love being a part of different things, being a part of different industries and learning stuff. And so I said, let me just help everybody out.
yeah, that's awesome, dude. I've never asked you the question, I guess, so it's good to hear your
Yeah.
background and how you traveled from dietitian to marketing. It's such a weird transition, but I guess we
Yeah,
all have
man.
weird journeys. All right, cool. Well, that's my questions. I want to open it up for you guys. You guys don't get a chance to speak with him every day. I text him every hour on the hour, so I can ask my questions all day. For you guys at home, raise your hand or unmute yourself. I don't know how Tyler wants to handle this, but ask away. We have about 10 minutes left, 15 minutes, and then you guys can get your marketing questions answered by the greatest marketer of all time, or not yet? Are you like almost there? And how do
Almost
people
there.
find you? How before we get to questions, how do people find you, get in contact with you?
Lily is my name. So don't name, period, Tone on Instagram. You can find me.
Okay, cool. And then just send you a DM.
Send me a DM.
Nice. All right. Do I even follow you? I have a hard time
I just
following.
followed you a couple days ago, which is funny.
Dang, that's rude, bro. That's messed up. You just followed me.
My fault,
My
man.
last video got 1.6 million views, bro. What are you gonna retarget all those people or what?
Now we have to.
Yeah. All right. You better.
We have to.
You better.
Oh,
All
last
right.
thing
Go
I'll add to
ahead.
this, definitely for if you run ads too for the agents on this side, I just want to say the last thing for you guys. There's a method called I forgot what I named it, but either way, this thing called engagement ads. You can literally hit, say you're targeting like a certain area, run engagement ads with a video, whatever your offer is, and then you can literally get views for pennies on a dollar. Or like you're literally getting like the whole city for like literally pennies on a dollar. And then you can do a thing called retargeting those people with your actual offer, but just getting people into your ecosystem to find you on Instagram or Facebook, whatever it is you're doing on. And then you're getting cheap followers, cheap people coming in, people to know your brand, and then et cetera. It just trickles down. And then retarget them with the offer. Last little tidbit I have. Sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Freebie right there. All right. So we know how to find you. We got some tidbits. We got some. Oh, am I on? Am I on? Yeah, I'm on. I'm muted. Oh, okay, I'm good. Raise your hands. Who's got a question? I know Tim Whitman doesn't have a question. Tim Whitman's our honorary non-agent. I like Tim. He's kind of like my bodyguard, essentially, my online bodyguard. Yeah. Tim says he's just happy to be here. I don't even know how he typed that. Did you like just think that? Like I didn't see your hands move, Tim. That's crazy. All right, I see it now. It's moving. There you go. All right, any questions? Donovan usually has something. Nothing. He's focused.
I was trying to think of one because I'm actually starting some Google ads next week.
Why next week? Why not sooner? Are you like planning it out or mapping it or?
Shoot, let me call you. Let me talk to you right back.
It made him nervous, bro. His mom's calling. The phone wasn't even ringing, bro. We saw it. It's not even on. All right. Anyone else? Nobody? Tyler, you have any questions?
I mean, I think you made everyone nervous to say anything after that.
It's over now. He's got to keep this fake conversation going on the phone.
If not, I got one more tidbit I can add. I can give everybody.
Yeah. Go ahead. We got 9 more minutes. All you.
The biggest leverage you can do with ads too, obviously, besides the offer, the funnels, et cetera, and all that. A lot of people miss this. And you can add this for Google Ads too, is make sure you have your pixel set up and your Google Tags Manager set up. And all that is, for anybody that doesn't understand, is that in order for Facebook, because Facebook wants to make you money, right? And Google wants to make you money. Like they wouldn't be in business if they didn't. So the biggest leverage you can do in this, where a lot of people just don't do this at all. Even the biggest businesses I've been a part just don't do this at all. We're like, the pixel, all it is like, so say somebody comes in your funnel and you want to optimize your funnel every time for the highest conversion event. So let's say you ran an instant form lead, right? Let's say you want to go the low budget route. Don't optimize your funnel for just instant form submits, because those might be just random leads. And you got to realize whenever you send back information to Facebook, they take that as a positive result. They go, okay, cool. You want a bunch of low quality leads or people who are just submitting? Cool. What you want to do is you want to optimize it for like a schedule. So people who schedule appointments, because people who schedule appointments usually are typically higher quality. And if you have like a questionnaire attached to before that schedule button, to where you can kind of like narrow it down to like people, you can narrow it down to people you want, people who scheduling, so the people who come in are only people you want. So you tell Facebook, hey, I want to optimize people who schedule an appointment with me and then send information back. And anybody who doesn't do that, don't send it back. And all that is you train your pixel to then only find people who do that. So, and that's one of the biggest things you can do. It's not that hard to do, but just a lot of people just are I feel like are ignorant about it. And the same thing with Google Tags Manager, it's the same concept. Just like literally put it for scheduled appointments or just the event you want, whether you're in real estate or not, whatever event you want people to do, what's the highest optimal event that makes the most sense for your ideal avatar. You want it to optimize for that event, not just the very bare minimum sign up. So that way, and that'll negate a lot of those trash leads you get.
That's good. I like that. Never heard that angle before. Hopefully you're doing that for me. Just
of course.
All right, cool. All right, well, I guess that's it. Any questions? Usually these guys are pretty quiet. They'll ask me all the questions afterwards. But we'll have the replay on the school course. So they'll see it. They'll ask questions. I know you're in there. You see it. just go ahead and tag him, and he'll be able to reach out to you there. Hit him up on Instagram. And, Donovan's back. Go ahead, Donovan.
Oh, so that was another brokerage that was trying to recruit me because they'd seen the properties that I've sold or something. They're like, "You're doing well, so we want to recruit you." And I said no.
What company was it?
Remax.
Remax.
I know. So I'm actually going to call him and see how much he loves Remax and if he really likes it, and then see if I can get him to join EXP.
There you go.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Figure out when his open look period is and let me know.
Okay. So yeah, you pretty much answered my question on the Google. I think I'm going to be spending, how much am I spending? I think $10 to $15 a day on Google,
Okay.
like $300 to $500 a month.
Okay.
Are you doing this through KV Core, or how are you doing this?
There's someone that I know from a former business group that I was associated that I'm paying to handle that for me. And they're going to do all the KV Core stuff. They're going to do all of the ads. They're going to do all the creation. They do everything for me. And then I set a ad spend of how much I want to spend. And then we meet weekly, every week, to see how they're performing.
Nice. Okay, cool.
On the Facebook ads, that's where I actually had the question was, when, like, say for example, if I have like unique sell story, like, hey, I helped my client get $200,000 over list price if I'm targeting sellers, or I saved my client $150,000, on the purchase of their dream home, or if this escrow closes, it'll be, I saved my client $200,000, off of the actual value of this property. Is that a worthwhile video to make and then send out as your Facebook ad?
Definitely. Yeah. I would say one of the biggest cheat codes to ads is social proof all day. I was just talking to Josh about this recently. Like, social proof is one of the biggest leverage you can have, because the more you can prove that like what you do works. I would just say, just to be compliant, don't ever put how much you save or how much you made somebody or et cetera over a time period, because you can get flagged and your ad account get disabled. Just to add that little tidbit in. But
So you can't say what?
don't ever say how much you saved or made somebody over a certain time period. That's they're cracking down really hard on that pre-lady, so I'll try to warn everybody about that whenever it comes up.
Over a certain time period.
So let's say you say, oh yeah, I got my client, I saved them $100,000. Not saying you would, but like, say you saved $100,000 over like 30 days, whatever, et cetera, right? Putting money and time together on an ad, just flag. You might get by for a little bit, yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead. But that is a great offer on a friend to know, a great way to pull in leads.
Right, but they're not over days, right? If it's just a flat, I made him more money, I saved them more money, there's no timeline, then it's okay.
Perfect, yeah.
Okay, cool, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah,
Social
good
proof
luck
is
with
actually
that.
some of the best ads. Yeah, definitely do that.
I'm excited to see more of you guys jump into the paid ad space. I was anti-paid ads until I met him. So if you guys can get a good system, I don't recommend doing it alone. I know all the gurus and stuff like that make it sound like it's easy. It is easy in nature. You can plug and play. You just have to have the right team. I know, Tyler, you use another system as well, and that's basically plug and play after you do some of the legwork, and they have the back end stuff. They charge you for that, right? Obviously, but going in alone, I think, is the wrong mistake. And so for you guys is to really tag along with someone who knows what they're doing and can guide you. The best part about it is you could fire them later, right? I'm going to fire him hopefully in a couple years once we make a couple $1 million, and I'll just have someone in-house do it. That's a little cheaper, okay? Just giving you that warning now.
I get it. I get it.
There's a guy in the Philippines who wants $4 an hour right now. I spoke with him. I interviewed him. He's not there yet, but he'll get there. That's a true
I'll offer the
story.
consulting deal.
Yeah, right? For $5 an hour. But yeah, I recommend you guys always get trained up on this. Don't do it alone. You don't have to. Spend a little bit of money to get the experts behind you to push everything forward. set it up correctly the first time, get your funnels in place, follow up, and learn from your mistakes at the end of the day. Because this whole game it seems like it's trial and error, and there's a lot more error that's in place until you get your first really good, not clickbait, but clickbait ad that really drives traffic into your funnels and so on and so on. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate everyone's time watching this and getting to know more about paid ads. Let's do it again. So we'll have you on the course for sure. We got to do a quick course on all this.
For sure. I'm down.
All right. Cool. All right. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Prisma. Thanks, Tyler Whitman. Thank you as always. You gonna say something?
Are we back next week, or what's the plan?
Be back every week, bro. If you're not in Cabo, we're back. Okay. Once you go to Cabo, you derail everything, and so that's where I take a break too.
We got 11 months, and you got 11 months to plan to be in Cabo next year.
I'm not going to Cabo, Tyler, unless you get me my private jet. I'm not talking JSX. I'm talking private chartered jet. I'm not going to Cabo, and then a ride from the airport, like a nice ride, not like a bus, okay, or Uber.
We'll get you the new Escalade.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right. I'll see you guys next week. See you guys in the course. See you on YouTube. See you on Instagram.